Alright, I'm gonna go over a few kind of warm-up exercises that you probably want to do when you're practicing. And they have to do with what we call chromatic scales. Well, these aren't like full chromatic scales, but they have the kind of chromatic idea where you go from like fret to fret. Okay. The first one is involving starting at the fifth fret. This is where I usually like to start, and then going down this way. But what I do is I actually start from the first string. I play a fourth finger chromatic scale, or a little line, and then I go to the second string and the third string, and then so forth. And then after I go to the sixth string, I go back up to the first string. So it would sound something like this. And back up. Then you could do kind of a descending thing where you go from fourth finger down to the first finger, and then so forth, like this. And back up. So, one thing to note about these chromatic scales, or when you put it on your fingers, is that you want to be careful where you position your fingers in the fret. So your first finger, you always want it high in the fret, which is more closer to this side of the fret. Same thing with the second finger. And your third and fourth finger can be in the middle. So the way I like to think is high, high, middle, middle. And one thing to know about your pinky is you don't want to flatten out your pinky, but you actually want to kind of angle it like so, and have it like that. So you want your pinky to be arched. The reason why you want your fingers like this is that later on when you do hammer on pull-offs and legatos, you're already in kind of a good position to kind of do that because you have a good strength, especially when you do your pull-offs. It's better that way. If you're flat, it's very weak. So you don't want your fingers to be arched like so. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more time how to do this exercise. So first we're going to do the ascending, and then I'm going to do the descending later. And descending. Okay. Then I actually do that for the fourth fret, or with the fourth position, the third, and then keep going down. And obviously when you keep going down, the frets get wider, so it's obviously going to be very crucial where you position your fingers, obviously. Okay, the next chromatic idea is a shifting exercise, where it's what we call inchworm shift. Alright, where we first put down 4 fingers, and then we shift to the next position, fret up, okay, and then do the same thing, and then 3rd fret, 4th fret, then same thing going descending. thing to know when you're shifting is knowing where your thumb is, okay? Because there's a tendency to, when you shift, to not move your thumb along with your fingers. So what happens is when you're like this initially, then you get kind of out of place like that, and then your fingers can't stretch out as much. So what needs to happen is when you shift, your whole hand, including your thumb, has to move like one unit, okay? And when you shift, make sure that your thumb isn't too tightly on the neck, so you're not dragging your finger, right? So this is kind of good exercise to kind of like get used to kind of moving your fingers more freely and with more agility. Okay, so I'll show it one more time how this goes. Okay, and then you could just do that for all 6 strings. Alright.